According to the IDF's latest statement, the Gaza offensive, backed by Israeli citizens, is likely to continue for months. However, many Israelis do not support their wartime leader, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Reports indicate that Israelis seem to have lost trust in their Prime Minister. A new poll by the Israel Democracy Institute says 66% of Israelis believe the Israel Defense Forces can destroy Hamas's military capabilities in Gaza, but 69% want elections to be held as soon as the war is over. The poll indicated that only 39% voters who voted for Netanyahu's Likud party will do so again. Another survey by Berlin University reveals that only 24% Israelis think Netanyahu is the most trustworthy source of news on the war, while a whopping 73% believe the official military spokesman was their most trusted source. Some reports citing senior Israeli officials also reveal that Netanyahu may not even be the actual wartime leader. Daily decisions on the war are being made by the three former generals in the war cabinet. These include Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and the former IDF chiefs of staffs Benny Gantz and Gadi Eisenkot. All three are now politicians who joined the Israeli war cabinet. Since the war started, visuals of Netanyahu meeting his troops, boosting their morale, have been widely circulated. But he has not always had a comfortable relationship with the IDF. Netanyahu himself held the rank of captain and served in the special secret missions. Despite that, to get promoted, he was asked to remain in the non-elite unit. He then chose to leave the military. This was 50 years ago, and since becoming the Prime Minister in 1996, Netanyahu has not revealed any fondness for large military operations. He has always preferred small operations and airstrikes, unlike now, when the country is engaged in its largest scale war in decades. Reports also suggest that Netanyahu believes most of the military generals want him out of power. At least 7 IDF chiefs of staff have joined parties or political movements dedicated to replacing him. These include the former general and defense minister Benny Gantz, now part of the Israeli war cabinet, and is also likely to succeed him if elections were to be held now in Israel. And for more on this, our correspondent Jody Cohen sends us this report from Tel Aviv.
According to recent polls, if an election was held today, Benny Gantz would win, beating Prime Minister Netanyahu. However, whether or not people would vote for Netanyahu, the comparison by Turkey's President Erdogan of Netanyahu to Hitler, who was responsible for killing 6 million Jews, is seen in Israel as both hugely offensive and inaccurate. Nonetheless, 2/3 of people would like to see an election as soon as possible after the war, but the majority agree with President Herzog that the country needs to stay united, particularly while it's under attack. Meanwhile, talks are continuing on Egypt's proposal to end the war, secure the release of the 129 remaining hostages still being held captive in Gaza, and have Gaza ruled by a new Palestinian government of experts. Netanyahu spoke with French President Macron, who called for a durable ceasefire. The two leaders also discussed easing tensions on the northern border after Wednesday saw a significant increase in rockets fired by Hezbollah into Israel. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.